After Princess Thafit got married, she asked me to have an affair. Her reasoning was that her grandfather wanted to see grandchildren before he passed away, but she wanted to remain a virgin for her true love. She said I wasn't worthy of fathering her children, so she told me to find another woman. If I didn't get someone pregnant within 3 months, she would arrange a suitable woman for me every day to get the job done. Nothing could be more painful than the ache in my heart. I completely gave up and prepared to start courting a high-class woman. She asked for $500,000 a month, which means as the broker I would have to skim some profit. So, I told Scarlett that I'd found a woman I wanted to keep happy for 3 months at $3 million a month. Scarlett's face fell. I'm your wife, not your mother. You want to spend money on another woman and expect me to pay for it? Don't you think that's a bit much? I gave a hollow laugh. You won't let me touch you, but you still expect to have a child. I don't have the ability to reproduce on my own, so I can only find a woman outside to complete the task. This rightly belongs to you, and these expenses should naturally be paid by you. If you're not willing to pay for me to find a woman, then I'll have to abandon this contract marriage. Scarlett's face twisted with disgust. Don't even dream about it. I only married you to please Grandpa. I don't like you. I only like Kirk. I said flatly. If you'd refused at the time, I would have told Grandpa that our marriage was just a charade to make him happy. Guess if he would have forced you to sleep with me. Scarlett looked annoyed. You're good at playing roles too. I didn't realize you were so insidious. I said with a smirk. I liked you before, but now you've disappointed me greatly. I won't need to keep trying to please you in the future. So you better get used to it quickly. If you can't adapt, then just suffer. Seeing Scarlett's face turn pale with rage, I pressed. Hurry up. Are you going to pay? Or are you going to pay with your body? Scarlett gave a mirthless laugh. You're deliberately trying to provoke me to force me to have a child with you. Forget it. My body and heart only belong to Kirk. Don't dream of getting them. With that, she transferred $6 million to me. I raised my eyes to look at her. You're willing to stay pure for Kirk because he saved you 10 years ago, and you promised to repay him with your body, right? Actually, I'm the one who saved you 10 years ago. Scarlett said coldly. You've taken credit for Kirk's deed more than once. I've warned you not to challenge my limits anymore. I laughed. I'm not taking her credit. I really am the one who saved you. Scarlett cut me off sharply. Although I was hazy at the time, I could still clearly see the clothes the person was wearing. Afterwards, I investigated those clothes. They were Kirk's. Hao Ming explained that it was because after I saved her, she took advantage of me being exhausted and forced me to switch clothes. Scarlett was annoyed. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'll believe such a clumsy excuse? I warn you for the last time, if you dare to take credit for Kirk's deeds, I will never forgive you. Having said all that, I have no intention of explaining any more. In the future, if you have the opportunity to know the truth, don't blame me for not keeping my promise to you. You tried hard. You just didn't need me. Scarlett watched my back as I left, her heart trembling as if something was out of control. She looked at the documents on the table for a while, then picked up her phone and called Song Yaoji to investigate Hao Ming's whereabouts last night to see who he spent the night with. Song Yaoji moved quickly. Soon came to report that last night, the young master went to the bar to indulge. I heard from the staff that he did not find any princesses, but left the bar in the morning and then went to the company. Knowing that he spent the night alone, Scarlett secretly breathed a sigh of relief. As expected, he did not go to find a woman, but wanted to use another way to attract my attention. I was so clever using the trick to attract attention, but unfortunately I was not interested in him. After that, Scarlett told Song Yaoji to bring the stomach-nourishing tea that he had brewed himself today. Song Yaoji said that Hao Ming didn't bring it today. She was going to call and ask. Seeing this, Scarlett frowned and stopped him. He never forgot this. This time it must be intentional. It's just a cup of tea. It doesn't matter whether you drink it or not, just like him. It doesn't matter whether you have it or not. Song Yaoji didn't say anything more and retreated. Not long after, Scarlett's stomach suddenly ached, making her face pale. In the end, she had to ask Song Yaoji to buy stomach medicine in the car. I called Leah and said, "Let's meet. I'll send you the address of the private villa. Bring your luggage there. You'll live there during the collaboration." A playful woman's voice came over the phone. "Are you so addicted? Not even 5 hours and you want more already?" My mouth twitched. I want to give you a place to live, by the way. Otherwise it's easy to get caught by the police every time you come to the store. Leah chuckled. Then come pick me up at the old place. When I arrived at the location, I didn't see anyone. I was about to call when a glamorous figure suddenly appeared in front of me. Leah saw me stunned and gave me a wry smile. You don't recognize me when I'm wearing clothes? Hearing the familiar voice, I realized that she was the woman from last night. Due to Leah's words, the people around looked at me with strange eyes. My face flushed red and I told her to get in the car and took her to a villa. When Leah stretched her slender legs and put them on the coffee table, I looked at her seriously. This morning we only talked about the price and didn't talk about the specific requirements. Now I'll give you a brief overview. The time I meet you is mainly concentrated in the evening so you can move freely during the day. Don't arrange any activities in the evening to make it convenient for me when I need you. After saying 5 conditions, Leah slumped on the sofa weakly. I can't come whenever you want. I have other jobs. Sometimes I have to work overtime until very late. Sometimes I have to go on business trips. I can't be available every night. I wondered. Aren't you a professional? Leah said. This is just a side job. I have other jobs during the day. Helplessly, I offered $1 million to get her to quit her job. Leah said it was only enough to buy her evening job. If she wanted to spray, she had to add money. She looked at me as if I didn't have enough money. I smiled. Don't worry, there's no problem. Send me your bank account number, and I'll transfer some to you first. After saying that, Leah suddenly approached me with a charming and seductive voice. Don't rush. I have to go on a business trip for a few days tomorrow. I'll take advantage of the time when I'm free to pay you in advance a few times. The corners of my mouth twitched. No need. I'm not that eager. I don't need it every day. But Leah grabbed my hand and put it on her chest, which was heaving with allure. Since the moment you met me, your eyes have never left me for a second. Don't you really want to? The soft sensation passed through my hand, causing my heart rate to increase. While I was stunned, Leah suddenly laughed. Hearing the laughter, I regained consciousness and asked her blankly, What are you laughing at? Leah said with a laugh, Looking at your appearance, you must be touching a woman's chest for the first time. Hearing this, my face turned red. Then she looked at me with a meaningful smile. Before I could say anything, she kissed me. At first it was very gentle. Seeing that I didn't object and even cooperated, she gradually deepened the kiss. Soon the living room was filled with Spring. He took a quick shower and drove to the Xiao family villa. Everyone in the villa had different expressions. Gaoya, a stern-faced, supervised the servants. Seeing me and Scarlet coming back, Gao Yashin taunted me. You also learned from her. In the end, Old Master Xia appeared with his cane. Gao Yashin glanced at Old Master Xia and sarcastically said, Do you only have one granddaughter? What if I scold one? Oh, almost forgot, that granddaughter of yours is dead, along with your son and his wife. Your luck is really good. You're alive and have a granddaughter. When you go to hell later, you'll also have a granddaughter there. Don't you think it's good to be alive and not bad to die? Anyway, you have a granddaughter wherever you go. Old Master Xia trembled and shook silently, but couldn't say anything. I saw Old Master Xia full of misery, like a child being wronged, but I understood how deep Gao Yashin's resentment was. These were all debts that the Xia family owed her. 5 years ago, Xia Qingshan was named a martyr for his heroism, but left many unresolved shadows. Gao Yashin thus became the widow of a martyr, and her life was subject to many restrictions. She was forced to play the role of a chaste woman in sorrow, because as long as she was not happy, the public would compensate for her pain and protect the reputation and work of the Xia family. In these shackles, Gao Yashin became the only victim. The men of the Xia family dressed luxuriously and lived freely, while she could only live in resentment. During dinner, Old Master Xia suddenly raised a difficult topic. Hao Ming, you and Scarlet have been married for 3 years, so why don't you have children yet? This question obviously surprised me. At this time, Gao Yashin snorted and said, What are you asking Hao Ming for? You should ask your granddaughter. Maybe she has had results outside for a long time. Scarlet's face immediately darkened. Don't talk nonsense in front of the old man. The old man slammed the chopsticks against the bowl. Scarlet, tell me the truth. Do you have someone else outside? Scarlet lowered her head, unable to speak. She gently tapped my foot. I continued, smiling and comforting. Grandpa, please rest assured, we will try to have children. We just want to stay with you longer, so we are using contraception. The old man patted my hand in satisfaction. This is also for your own good. I smiled faintly, knowing that I had played a good charade. After the meal, Scarlett and I pretended to be intimate in the manner, just to make the old man happy. After strolling for a while, Lin Juan called Scarlett. I didn't know what Lin Juan said. On the other end of the line, Scarlett's voice was gentle and clear. Don't worry, I won't sleep with Hao Ming. I promise to stay pure for you and I will definitely do it. There was a strange feeling in my heart. I was about to leave when Gao Yaxin suddenly appeared. Gao Yaxin walked coldly towards Scarlett. Before Scarlett could react, she snatched the phone and accidentally pressed the speakerphone button. A charming voice came from the phone. My love, I miss you so much. It's been 3 months since we last met. It's so hard to have time but we can't meet. I can't sleep every night because I miss you, miss your arms. Gao Yaxin laughed coldly and mocked. It hasn't been the first time, so how could it be like this? It's like a toad under the sun. Immediately afterwards she said irritably, don't come here to cause trouble. Scarlett is your brother's wife, so why are you calling her indiscriminately here? Lin Juan initially didn't understand what the first sentence meant, until he heard the next sentence. He then heard clearly that Gao Yaxin was scolding him, and was scolding him very rudely. He was angry and aggrieved. Why do you have to use such harsh words to insult me? Gao Yaxin replied coldly, I say what I see. I speak human language to humans and ghost language to ghosts. If you do things you can't see people, then don't be afraid of me scolding you. Hang up the phone. Scarlett's face darkened and she snatched the phone back. Why did you scold Lin Juan? He's sensitive, not like Hao Ming who has a thick skin. It is too heavy for one with a thin skin to do things that a third party does. Who is the third party? Scarlett frowned. I always wanted to marry Lin Juan, but the marriage was forced by Grandpa. But I told you don't scold Lin Juan. Gao Yaxin snorted coldly. Hao Ming is your husband. No one can look down on this identity. If adults make a choice, they have to bear the consequences. Don't be like some kids who want both. Scarlett was so angry that she couldn't speak and hurriedly called to comfort Lin Juan. Gao Yaxin turned to me. I swallowed nervously. Please don't scold me. Gao Yaxin looked regretful. You don't lose to anything but you lose to that kid Lin Juan. I smiled helplessly. I tried to be good to Scarlett, but she didn't give me a chance. Walking around in the garden, night had fallen. Scarlett hadn't come back yet. She must still be coaxing Lin Juan. The next morning, Scarlett sat by the window and saw me wake up. She urged, hurry up and get up. We're going to see Grandpa and tell him you want to go on a trip with me. I stared at her. You want to go on a trip with Lin Juan? Tell him to help you hide? You know it, why are you still asking? If it weren't for you, Lin Juan wouldn't have suffered a loss. Scarlett had an indifferent attitude. I said softly, I'm not going. Scarlett's face darkened. Have you forgotten the contract? Hao Ming replied calmly, I remember. The contract says I have to make Grandpa happy unconditionally. Could it be that in order to make Lin Juan happy last night, you took him as your grandpa? Scarlett's face turned pale. I looked at Scarlett with mocking eyes. Have you really taken him as your grandpa? In that case, maybe I can help you coax him. Scarlett's face turned pale. After a pause, she gritted her teeth and offered a condition. $100,000 a day, you go with me. I said calmly, not going. $150,000. Not going. $200,000. Not going. Scarlett had been pushed to the end of the road. Her voice was as cold as ice. $300,000 a day. I observed Scarlett's expression and reluctantly said, all right, for Grandpa's sake, I'll go. I saw clearly that this was Scarlett's final limit. If I didn't agree, who knows, she would give up. Although I didn't want to meet Lin Juan, it was $300,000 a day. I would be crazy to refuse that amount of money. Anyway, I'm not someone who looks down on money. After that, I took the initiative to tell Grandpa about the trip. On the third day, Scarlett and I arrived in Russia. When I left the airport, I thought I would go to the store, but the car stopped in front of a bar. I saw Lin Juan and several of his foreign friends standing at the door to welcome Scarlett. As soon as Lin Juan saw Scarlett, he hugged her tightly. At this time, Lin Juan's friends noticed me. Scarlett, why are you with him? Don't you people know what he has done before? If you know what I did before, then shut your mouth. It's as easy as turning your hand to clean you guys up. Wang Diandian's face was full of mockery and contempt. Ha ha ha, it's really funny. What do you have to clean up as an ordinary ring actor like you? Immediately, laughter rang out in front of the bar. Immediately afterwards, there was a crisp pop, and the slap made Wang Diandian fall to the ground. Lin Juan's friends around him suddenly fell silent. Everyone was frightened by me. No one dared to challenge me, not even dare to look me in the eye. I smiled faintly. Even a ring actor like me doesn't dare to challenge you. I can't blame you for playing with Lin Juan. It turns out that garbage people automatically classify themselves. After saying that, he turned around and left. I didn't want to be with this group of people. I went to the bar, ordered a bottle of vodka, and drank it alone. The annoyance in my heart could not be eliminated no matter what. I wasn't happy, not because of being exposed as a ring actor, but because I remembered the reason behind performing on the ring. 8 years ago, the capital chain of the paternal family group was broken, the stock market collapsed, and it eventually went bankrupt. After the bankruptcy liquidation, the thousands of trillions of shareholders and other responsible persons withdrew money and fled abroad. My grandfather's family bore all the crimes. The eldest brother was arrested and imprisoned. Grandmother couldn't bear the shock and died on the spot. Except for the eldest brother, the Bai family members were controlled by creditors. The creditors saw that the Bai family was no longer in power and could not repay their debts. They tortured and abused them to vent their anger. My mother could not escape the disaster either. After being humiliated, my mother jumped from the top floor of the store and was exposed to the public in an extremely humiliating manner. When I arrived at the scene, I saw my mother lying in a pool of blood, covered with a vest, which preserved her last dignity. Then I watched the surveillance camera and learned that the coat on my mother was Xia Qingshue's, and she drove away the curious crowd. Because of that kindness, the desperation spread throughout those dark days and finally captured his heart. After taking care of his mother's funeral, in order to save Grandpa and everyone, I participated in the WVV Underground Ring Tournament. This is the ring fueled by violence. The Underground Fighting League demanded a specific look. My physique pleased those artistic promoters, so it was easy to get into the league. They required wearing grotesque, offensive costumes and fighting in suggestive poses. Though my past wasn't glorious, I didn't regret it because only here could I earn over $10,000 a month. While this income, even if I fought to the death, couldn't pay off all the debt, it could at least minimize losses for the creditors so they wouldn't torture my grandfather and others. I fought in the Underground League for 5 years until 3 years ago, Old Man Hawthorne found me. He said that when he was young, he owed my grandmother a debt. Now that my grandmother had passed away, he wanted to compensate for his shortcomings towards my grandmother. My grandmother was Old Man Hawthorne's first love. But on that day, he took the compensation money from my grandmother's father and teammates to start a business, leaving a pile of trouble for my grandmother. Perhaps due to old age, Old Man Hawthorne felt the karmic retribution and wanted to accumulate merit for himself. So he began searching for my grandmother, trying to make up for the mistakes of the past, but unfortunately my grandmother had passed away. Old Man Hawthorne could only come to me. But Old Man Hawthorne was an extremely selfish person. He wouldn't allow the Hawthorne family's assets to fall into the hands of outsiders. So, he forced me to marry Scarlett Hawthorne before he would help the Buchanan family. And I agreed to marry Scarlett Hawthorne. Then Old Man Hawthorne offered $100 million, plus several orders from the Zenith Group, to help the Buchanan family pay off debts to private creditors. But the bank debt was the main thing. The debt was too large for even the Hawthorne family to pay off, so they could only put out a sum each month to pay the interest. I gulped down the last glass of alcohol, my mind racing. I didn't know how long Old Man Hawthorne would live. After he died, the Buchanan family would face a crisis again. I had to secure a guarantee before Old Man Hawthorne passed away so that the Buchanan family could survive. That day, I went to find Old Man Hawthorne to talk about going on a trip. Old Man Hawthorne said, "As long as she has a child for the Hawthorne family, I will allocate a portion of Zenith Group shares to her in my will. Otherwise, my will won't have your name in it." In Old Man Hawthorne's mind, as long as I had a child, what he gave me would ultimately be given to her child, and it would still stay in the Hawthorne family. So she definitely had to have this child. Even if it wasn't Scarlett Hawthorne's child, as long as Old Man Hawthorne could hold his grandson, it would be fine. With Scarlett Hawthorne as the filial granddaughter, the child's identity absolutely couldn't be revealed before Old Man Hawthorne passed away. And after Old Man Hawthorne passed away, and the will had taken effect, it wouldn't matter much if the child's identity was revealed. I lit a cigarette. Just as I brought the cigarette to my lips, a hand suddenly reached out from behind and snatched the cigarette out of my hand. Smoking is bad for your health. If you're craving it, you can kiss me. Turning around, it was Leah. Why are you here? Leah raised an eyebrow. I'm here for a work trip. Why are you here too? I told the truth. My wife is traveling with her lover to relax. I'm here as her shield. Leah raised an eyebrow slightly. How pitiful. What does your wife have that I can't offer? Let me take you out to have fun. I glanced at her. You're not the person I love. Leah said. Though I'm not the person you love, I'm the person you sleep with. I considered myself thick-skinned, but I was still slightly embarrassed by this bold woman. Leah reached out and wrapped her arm around my shoulder. Let's go. I'll take you out to have fun. 5 minutes later, I stood emotionlessly in a hotel room watching her. Didn't you say you'd take me out to have fun? Leah lifted my chin, her finger caressing me. You haven't seen me in days. Don't you want to play with me? Am I not interesting enough? Or have you been obsessed with other women in the days I wasn't here? Her tone made me uncomfortable, but I liked this honey trap. She seemed unable to restrain herself, gradually going on top of me, her face flushed. She said she wanted to be on top of me. I was very unwilling about this, pushed her down and said, You should still be below. Leah couldn't help but chuckle. You didn't object before, so I thought you didn't mind. I didn't expect you to still silently remember it in your heart. Hearing her laughter, I suddenly felt a little embarrassed. Leah seemed to see my embarrassment and teased. Aren't you trying to get me to be below? Why aren't you moving anymore? I only felt my face burn. I haven't seen you in 3 days, so it feels strange. Let me take a shower to calm down first. Without waiting for her to answer, I hurriedly ran into the bathroom. After I finished showering, Leah looked at me with a knowing smile. You wait a moment, I'll go take a shower too. My mouth twitched. How desperately did she crave it? Leah took a very quick shower and came out of the bathroom in less than 5 minutes. Without saying much, she pulled me inside. Just at this moment, a noisy sound along with knocking at the door echoed in. Hao Ming. Stopping, I frowned unhappily. What's the matter? I patted Leah's back lightly. It's okay. Check which room it is. I sat up and lifted Leah down. I went to the door and opened it, only to see a group of people in uniforms standing outside the door. The number was not small. The one in the lead pulled out his card, verified his identity and said, We received a report that someone is involved in illegal trading. Please cooperate with the investigation. I said, You guys checked the wrong place. My girlfriend and I are playing a game and haven't committed any illegal acts. If that's the case, please cooperate so we can verify your relationship. Please present your identification and state your girlfriend's name. Finishing speaking, I wanted to go into the room to get my identification, but he stopped me. We have female police officers. Let the female police officers come in to check. By the way, ask your girlfriend a few questions. 2 female police officers went into the room, quickly got in front of Leah, and the female police officer pulled out her card and said softly, Excuse me, is this person your boyfriend? What is his name? In addition, please present your identification so we can verify your identity. Thank you for your cooperation. At the federal police station, I sat listlessly on a chair. It was so strange. I wasn't caught in the strict country, but was caught in a freer foreign country. Leah sat next to me, her face was not good, exuding a dangerous and gloomy atmosphere. Since knowing her, she had always shown a lazy and casual appearance. Although she spoke a bit hatefully, she seemed to have a very good temper. This was the first time I saw her get angry, but it was understandable. No one would be happy being arrested at a police station. At this time, Leah's melancholic voice rang next to me. You don't know I'm. I looked at her, my eyes full of doubt. Are you very famous? Leah's expression was erratic. When you first chose me, wasn't it because you thought I looked familiar? Not just because I was beautiful with a good figure? I became even more suspicious. Otherwise what? Who would hire a woman just to find someone familiar? And why do I think you look familiar? Have we ever met? Leah turned her face away. Her face as dark as the bottom of a pot. No. I smiled. I thought so too. Although my memory isn't very good, with your outstanding looks if we had ever met, I couldn't possibly forget. Leah laughed coldly. While the two were talking, dozens of jeeps, including several armored vehicles, appeared outside the police station, tightly surrounding the police station. A group of people in military uniforms got out of the cars, rushed aggressively into the station. At first, the people in the station thought someone had come to cause trouble and were about to call for reinforcements to drive the troublemakers away. But when they saw the people getting out of the cars, they trembled, their eyes full of horror. Those were people of the Austen family, and the director heard that the station was surrounded by people of the Austen family, and was frightened. He hurriedly ran out to greet them. Great, what brings so many people to the station? If the Austen family needs the Federal Bureau's help, we will definitely do our best. Before he could finish speaking, he was kicked away by the young officer. Not only was the director not angry when he stood up, he even smiled and praised. You have a lot of strength. You really deserve to be a talent who entered the Austen army. The young officer roared angrily. Don't flatter here, you Federal Police Department, you are so daring. You dare to arrest people of our family? Do you want to declare war on the Austen family? The director led and sat down on the ground, explaining in a panic. We didn't arrest anyone from the Austen family. Could there be some misunderstanding? The young officer kicked him again. You dare doubt our family's abilities? The director was desperate. Since they had already found their way to the door, there was no way they had searched the wrong place. The director was extremely angry, wondering which bastard had arrested a person from the Austen family. Arresting the president's son was worse than arresting a person from the Austen family. In the monitoring room, Leah heard the commotion outside. Guess what was happening? Her hands quickly moved a few times, and the handcuffs were opened. Seeing this, I looked at her in surprise. Leah said, I'll go out and see. At the door, she turned around again, leaned over and whispered in my ear, My name is Leah. Don't forget it. Finishing speaking, she bit my ear lightly and got up and left. I cried out in pain, ashamed and angry, glaring at her back. There were surveillance cameras here. Didn't she know how to be embarrassed? Leah. I whispered her name. I've never even heard this name before. I didn't think much. I just thought that Leah had identified the wrong person. My purpose was to quickly make her pregnant, and I didn't want to care about anything else. When Leah stepped out of the monitoring room, she saw several people from the Federal Police Bureau being beaten up, their faces swollen and shaking. They were leading the way, followed by a group of people from her family. In the middle was her subordinate, Leverett. Leverett's face lit up with joy when he saw Leah, quickly moving forward to say something. Leah glanced at him, threatening him. Leverett immediately became as obedient as a quail, swallowing back the words he wanted to say. It wasn't until she reached the door of the bureau that Leah stopped, looking at the dense army and armored vehicles outside. Leah's expression changed. Retreat immediately. She told the director to wait for me to leave before releasing the people inside, and warned them not to reveal a word about tonight's events, including the identity, appearance, and name of the person arrested with me. If his identity was discovered, I would immediately lead troops to raze the entire FBI building to the ground. Leverett saluted respectfully. Yes. Leah got into a car. In this situation, she couldn't not leave. Her whereabouts had been revealed. There were definitely people spreading false information to deceive Leverett. Otherwise, Leverett wouldn't have risked leading so many people to surround the Federal Police Bureau. She had to go back to investigate clearly. Not long after Leah left, Hao Ming felt that Russia was full of humanity. They kept bringing delicious food to him, and his handcuffs were also opened. He was sitting on the sofa, listening to the director apologize. If it hadn't been for me stopping him, the director would have kowtowed. Then, he asked for the reason they said sorry for arresting the wrong person. I ate alone for a while, suddenly hearing footsteps entering. I thought Leah had come back, and just as I raised my head I said, Where did you go? Let's eat together, the food here isn't bad. Seeing there was no reply, I raised my head to see clearly who had just entered. My expression immediately sank, and Scarlett Hawthorne's face was even more ugly. She laughed coldly. Didn't you think of who it was? I ignored her and continued eating. Scarlett Hawthorne walked over coldly, grabbing my wrist. Answer me. Who was the woman you were with tonight? I pulled my hand back. Who I am with is none of your business. Mind your own business. Scarlett Hawthorne's face turned pale. How can you be so shameless? You just arrived in a foreign country and hurriedly went to find a woman in a hotel. If I hadn't reported it to the police in time, would you have already put a horn on me? I glanced at her indifferently. So what? What do I have to do to be considered knowing shame? To obediently listen to your arrangements and let you treat me like a tool to be considered knowing shame? Seeing Scarlett Hawthorne's face turn from green to red, I laughed and continued. Don't act like I owe you so much. You need to understand clearly that it was you who asked me to go find a woman. Even if there wasn't that request, I wouldn't be at fault for going out to find a woman now. After all, you have been putting horns on me for 3 years. Now, I'm just returning the favor. I stopped for a moment, half smiling, half not, and continued. Why are you suddenly reacting so strongly to me finding a woman? Don't tell me you've fallen in love with me. Scarlett Hawthorne said disgustedly. Don't be so sentimental. I only love Kirk. I can absolutely not love you. I unconsciously smiled. Then why were you so angry when you found out I was looking for a woman? Scarlett Hawthorne's eyes flashed very quickly. She had already found a reason. I was going to apologize to Kirk and his friends. You bullied Kirk's friend. Before coaxing him, well, don't even think about going out and enjoying yourself. I laughed coldly. When did I bully Lin Juan's friend? Moreover, his friend was the one who provoked me first. Is it reasonable for me to apologize for a justified resistance? Hearing this, Scarlett Hawthorne said somberly, if Kirk is heartbroken because of you, then it's your fault. Wang Diandian is Kirk's friend, you hit him, that means you don't respect Kirk. It's like slapping Kirk in the face, so you have to apologize to him. I know you are good at arguing. I am not arguing with you, I am ordering you. Go back with me now, sincerely apologize to Kirk, and then look at Lin Juan and his voice becomes gentle. Kirk want him to apologize to him, how to say there is even though he made what request, he dared not agree to. Lin Juan looked generous and said, I am not to have the requirements. He sincerely apologized to me if is to be okay, but the sweet point by him plays he should apologize to by sweet point's requirement. A4 agreed. After that sweet point goes to conceited look. I now unqua this knelt down and apologized to. I then used a tongue to licked up clean my shoe. Next Lin Juan boasted and talked it. Yo min I keeps apologizing. Demand of the point to go. The demand of your is over. It is not too strange to ask for. If you really want to, the account goes. You touch his hand to beat the someone is illegal, may report to the policeman, arrests your comes prison. Moreover, Xia Qingxua is in waiting for me to open the mouth. I pray to her, if I open the mouth she will help me. However I comes, each hand holds one person, sends the hair. Lin Juan and Wang points to point, bumps their heads on a mutually until they faints to the earth. I gives a cold laugh, turns a body around, only wanting to stride that outside. Xia Qingxua scolds angrily on, turns back. This for me, I asks you to reach, apologize, then on still beats to live the injury on. Thought what I said to on before these was only play a joke for saw. If on that is the courage goes, the next month I will let enter a prison to reunite to his family. Here's this on, turns ahead to watch her in the eye, cold and remote. If M is real to want to make like this, I only may ask for to grandpa helps, that is all. Xia Qingxua face darkness does not condemn with recently you is brave enough to with. I then learned the means to depend on one's powerful influence, presses somebody so on now is proud as if look afterwards did not have the power. Will be how on now is proud as if did not think that in the future did not have what influence is on. I indifferent answers that later the matters for to calculate, at least at present I has the capital to mean that depends on the influence oppresses the someone. Finishes speaking to turn the body, leaves the outside on the foreign country street. I walks alone, although Xia Qingxua words is difficult to on hears, but the fact is cannot give up makes me is like acupuncture needle. Once old-timer the lower family, the deceased the lower household will can be the to take charge. She needs a to stops assisting the family, his household not can the to repays debt, possibly full household enters a prison. Fawns on the lower household is ineffective because only needs has a woods dwelling. Cold his certainly makes the lower household severs assisting to the family. I the unique the ways gives birth to child before the old-timer passes there has the youngster because has this there is a position in the testament secures the future the family. This project makes me to have a nightmare. I needs for let Li Tina be pregnant at the period this traveling turns into my opportunity, avoids any need to contact. I ignored the location the hotel lower Qingxua specified, randomly sought a hotel to live and shifts to telephone mode, silently sleeps to waking up the sea of me. Sing calls in response to the telephone. Full B for lower Qingxua is seeing lower Qingxua calls that yesterday on went where goes has B for B to be with the peculiar woman is on. I wrinkles a brow, has this brat the also may location. The I then must confront reality, slowly open the door. Lower Qingxua stand out outside with an appearance which returns to normal. The nearby is woods dwelling. Cold with Is the appearance with of complaining moreover has 4 hotel protection is in a position with electricity on to stand the before to protects asked in English politely great sir you know this small that miss do you not? After I confirmed lower Qingxue immediately steps the room is in everywhere groping yesterday mislaid a watch tryout does not that on is taking I snickers asks the timepiece is expensive that you may call in full the telephone harass I still stands on guard one evening outside I asked. Lower Qingxue does not changes in appearance speaks woods dwelling. Cold gives although is not expensive however his sincerity in my heart is invaluable. I sees feeling dejected must make her searches slowly but lower Qingxue touches my hand on goes the there is also to look for what be to pick on the stranges on. I waves her hand then disgustingly speaks which way I wants to goes is not in the cycle manages that cares to goes to take care woods dwelling cold. Lower Qingxue to grind a tooth do not have the brain has been on what you employs. At 300,000 11th of December. I helpless halts that moves the cash yesterday this for on before has lower Qingxue not the spec hesitates moves 300,000 to I immediately before face woods dwelling cold I obey to make the behavior do not pick on is angry, and is not may gives on more. Receives cash I am very pleased also woods dwelling cold the pale green in the mind is angry before this for appears noble. He has never received cash leads now in the opposite the surface is loose more makes. To him is more the vexed my loving is cannot finds that we goes to go for a walk you know that At this time lower Qingxue suddenly realizes woods dwelling cold has followed her on the vigil, and her does not have the brain for the whole evening in the heart suddenly feels has a trace of to be sorry especially as on not at all complains still assists her Bao Che matter searches for a timepiece lower Qingxue spreads a hand out gently embraces the woods dwelling cold that we goes. That only needs to buy does not buy a timepiece for to buy for on the little garment shoe thing is. The also said looks like wearing this for on very the long time. Woods dwelling cold understands meaning speaks my garment still that May wears has not needed to buy whereon wants to saves a little because how min he values material must consumes does not few each month I did not want to let the be waste with 2. Lower Qingxue here's finishes the heartache speaks I to know that on. Did not want but I buys thing for on is that conveys feeling to what's expected that on does not reject. The final woods dwelling cold may not but not reluctantly not agrees already spoke that say is rejects to also is not to value then on hears the words gets through lower Qingxue smiles gently woods dwelling cold's eyes moves instead of the words I love, leave how min and we go out with also to supervise and to make him see you treats how well lower Qingxue listens to finish. With nods in approval then also to good a need not worried what I say he to run blindly to at store, it's also good to be supervised lower Qingxue is in approval of that sentence. I hear them speaking is a little surprised asks you not needs to sleeps how yesterday acts as on the vigil whole the evening I also has energy goes for stroll woods dwelling cold is carries lower Qingxue to net shows what face shows the joy to only needs is at side the wife the enthusiasm is to be excited with hundreds. Doubled. This is the strength of love is only single you will not understand correctly is that Lower Qingxue coordinates to nod time goes to a point to the business center district there are the wealthy many the people district woods dwelling cold that several friends do also had the face woods dwelling cold affectionate to say wife the my friend is at it here relieve worries with on is very inconvenient abandon them by this so for their xia Qingxue to pet and say that is so I not. Disturb as in you are happy that's okay is the words I not matter and woods dwelling cold happy relying on in that woman in the heart I have the feelings he is with an I friend. He is at very clear that you like haha jene eyes I love you made us envy too. Yes if someone loved me like you and I would get married I'd love it. The Xia family is to be able to let him marry so well, because our woods dwelling high grade noble enough to have such a good and to love to a high grade that is lower we cannot be compared to, no in a way so. You a lot will tell the truth not like a low quality of their behavior is a breakdown no matter how the low grade a long way they had said you didn't like for he and not for that to the lower house of high grade only to like in a way that would not have been so that's what you'd call being human. What they'd say only in a way you'd know who they were right for me not to object value what does the show of that a value show hamin just so for to please woods dwelling is a matter I did not is a trouble woods dwelling cold sees that I doesn't have what has a return to he gets mad. But did not know that the little on this in the end is took away the hand lower Qingxue will in what heart is now that my said. The status of the Hawthorne family's young master seems quite impressive. Let me use the authority of the Hawthorne family's young master, and see what happens. I looked directly at Scarlett Hawthorne and said, Wang Diandian has repeatedly spoken loudly to me and insulted me. I don't know if this Hawthorne family's young master has enough qualification to request that Miss Hawthorne cancel all cooperation with the Wang family or not. Before Scarlett Hawthorne could even open her mouth, Lin Juan couldn't help but sneer. Diandian is my friend. With me here my wife won't touch the Wang family. In the future I even want them to cooperate deeply. Wang Diandian laughed exaggeratedly. Ha, what if you're the Hawthorne family's young master now? Miss Hawthorne doesn't like you. Your status as the Hawthorne family's young master is just decoration. Scarlett Hawthorne replied coldly. Company cooperation involves many things. It's not something that can be cancelled just because you want to. And also, Wang Diandian is only sometimes unable to control her tongue because she's protecting Juan. It's a good thing that Juan has such good friends. I won't let Juan lose a sincere friend because of you. Wang Diandian was smug as if to say, the title of the Hawthorne family's young master isn't something that everyone can use. Without Miss Hawthorne's acknowledgement, your status as the Hawthorne family's young master isn't even as good as a beggar. I wasn't angry. I just took out my phone and dialed a number. Let me call and ask my grandfather to see if he acknowledges me or not. Everyone's face changed, especially Scarlett Hawthorne. She quickly stepped forward, intending to snatch the phone away. You're too childish. You're still tattling to Grandpa. Right at that moment the phone connected. The phone was on speaker and Old Man Hawthorne's voice rang from the phone. Hao Ming-ah, why are you calling me in the middle of the night? Did Scarlett make you unhappy again? My voice was sad, wanting to say more. But Scarlett had already grabbed my arm, grinding her teeth and whispering, I agree, don't tell Grandpa. If he finds out about Lin Juan's existence, he might send people to deal with him. If he finds out about Lin Juan and gets angry and falls ill, I'll become the one who harmed him. I smiled, my voice turning cheerful. Grandpa, because you wanted to hold your great-grandson soon, you wouldn't let me go out to play. It was hard to finally come abroad, but it's so boring staying in the hotel. Please help me talk to her, will you? After saying that, Old Man Hawthorne let out a hearty laugh. Ha, you finally know to do the right thing. When you return to the country, I'll teach her to help you. Now just stay there and have fun, don't rush to come back. Have fun and then come back. After hanging up the phone, I looked at Scarlett Hawthorne. It's time for you to fulfill your promise. Call your assistant right now, and tell them to start making arrangements. I looked at Scarlett Hawthorne with a mocking expression. Miss Hawthorne, please spare the Wang family. Wang Diandian finally panicked, her face filled with horror, begging. Hao Ming, I'm sorry, please be lenient and spare my family. If my dad finds out that he lost the contract with Zenith because of me, he'll beat me. Please spare me, I'm begging you. I pushed her away. Lin Juan's friends all looked terrified. Lucky that they weren't like Wang Diandian, rushing up so quickly, otherwise they would also be in trouble. They thought that Hao Ming wouldn't dare to resist, but he was tough, directly going to tattle to Old Man Hawthorne, even threatening Scarlett Hawthorne. Wasn't he afraid of being retaliated against after Old Man Hawthorne passed away? But that was a matter for the future. Currently, Hao Ming was invincible, having the ability to deal with those who bullied him. Suddenly, one of Lin Juan's friends said, Juan, I suddenly remembered that there's an important matter in the country that I need to return to urgently. I need to hurry back tonight. I can't stay to keep you company. Next, his friends also left one after another, not forgetting to take Wang Diandian with them before they left. Lin Juan was so angry that he trembled, glaring at them as they left. After everyone left, he turned his head to look at Hao Ming, seeing him happily opening the envelope, taking out the check inside. Lin Juan was even more angry, crying and running away. Scarlett Hawthorne hurriedly chased after him. Juan, don't run so fast, be careful of falling. Just as she finished speaking, Lin Juan fell face first. Scarlett Hawthorne felt sorry for him, helping him up. Does it hurt? Do you need to go to the hospital for a checkup? Lin Juan looked aggrieved, not answering but looked towards me, who was grinning widely. What are you laughing at? Is it funny that I fell? I said. My teeth are a bit hot, so I'm airing them out to cool them down a bit. Lin Juan's eyes welled up with tears, thinking to himself, after Old Man Hawthorne passes away, I definitely have to make Hao Ming's life worse than death. I took a deep breath, suppressing the anger, and said aggrievedly to Scarlett Hawthorne, Wife, I don't want to see him. Tell him not to follow us anymore. I just want to be with you. Scarlett Hawthorne nodded, listening to me. Don't bother Juan anymore. I'll leave. I very quickly turned around and left. I found a cafe to sit down. Following the instructions in the envelope, I transferred $15 million into the bank card. Because it was an international bank, it took a little time. It wasn't until I received a message confirming the money had been transferred into the account that I believed this wasn't a joke. And I wasn't dreaming that I had really won the lottery. Out of nowhere I had won $15 million. Next, I contacted the manager of the high-end fashion store, asking if I could exchange some clothes for cash. I didn't lack clothes, I only lacked cash. Although I wasn't loved by Scarlett Hawthorne, in order to create a semblance of affection for my grandfather, every quarter Scarlett Hawthorne would have assistant Cheen help arrange new clothes and shoes from big brands. I told the manager my intentions via text message. The manager quickly replied, "Of course you can. Send me your bank account number. I'll tally it up and transfer the money right away." The manager tallied it up and reported to Leah. Leah looked at the amount, over $10 million, and directly transferred $50 million to the manager. After I separated from the others, Leah immediately put aside her work, intending to find me. I didn't expect the luxury store manager to transfer $50 million to me. Looking at the string of numbers in the message, I felt like I was dreaming. Feeling unreal in a good mood, I decided to reward myself, leaving the store. At this time, Leah had already approached me. She looked around, not seeing the familiar figure, and texted the agent, "Where is he?" The agent replied, 20 meters ahead of me. Leah looked up, her heart pounding wildly for a moment. Because I hadn't taken care of myself for a long time today, in order to reward myself, I had tidied up a bit. Right at this moment, Leah saw me. Leah was just about to step forward but suddenly stopped, instructing Leverett to help me find a styling expert to make me a little more beautiful. I also wanted to make him infatuated. Several hours later, after rewarding myself, I found a place to eat. Right at this moment, a figure appeared in front of me. Because that person appeared too suddenly, I didn't have time to react, and bumped directly into that person, my head bumping right into the underside of Leah's neck. Pushing me away, a voice filled with amusement rang in my ear. "Not enough rubbing?" I laughed. "Not yet." Quickly leaving her embrace, she laughed softly. "Are you hungry? Go eat first." Finishing speaking, she walked ahead. Leah quickly chased after, taking my hand, separating my fingers one by one, interweaving our fingers together. I tilted my head, looking at the hand that was being held, looking towards Leah with a natural expression. There are a lot of people on the street, holding hands to avoid getting lost. I didn't say anything. We had already done more intimate things, holding hands wasn't anything. I chose a hot pot restaurant. Leah didn't seem that hungry, constantly picking up food for me. Eating alone, I felt a bit awkward, so I ate a bite, then fed her a bite. When we were almost done eating, Scarlett Hawthorne and Lin Juan passed by the entrance of the shop. Scarlett Hawthorne inadvertently swept through the inside of the shop, suddenly being attracted by a figure. Looking closely, she discovered that it was Hao Ming. Hao Ming was dressed very smartly, causing Scarlett Hawthorne to have a moment of being lost in thought. Right after that, she saw Hao Ming pick up a piece of meat and give it to the person opposite him. The woman opposite him very naturally ate that piece of meat, the piece of meat that Hao Ming had fed her. Hao Ming even smiled and took a tissue to wipe for her. Scarlett Hawthorne looked at this scene in surprise, a nameless anger rising in her heart. Hao Ming had really found a woman outside. How dare he? Lin Juan shook her hand vigorously. "My love, why aren't you going anymore?" Scarlett Hawthorne didn't hear his words, as if she had gone deaf. Lin Juan could only shake her vigorously, trying to attract her attention. Finally, Scarlett Hawthorne came to, roughly pulling her hand back, quickly stepping into the restaurant. When she found the door and went in, Hao Ming and that woman had already paid and were leaving through another door. Scarlett Hawthorne immediately chased after, but there were too many people outside. She looked around, seeing only heads of people, completely unable to find Hao Ming's figure. Scarlett Hawthorne angrily clenched her fist, punching hard at the glass door beside her. At this time, Lin Juan had just chased up. Before he could get close, Scarlett Hawthorne suddenly punched the glass door. Her punch was very strong, shattering the glass door. The shards of glass shattered, injuring Lin Juan's arm. Lin Juan hugged the bleeding wound, trembling in pain. Scarlett Hawthorne intended to rush into the crowd to find Hao Ming, but Lin Juan had quickly grabbed her hand, crying and asking, "Who are you looking for? Your hand is injured. You don't care about me anymore." Scarlett Hawthorne turned her head, only then realizing that Lin Juan was injured. She frowned. "Why are you injured? Why don't you take a taxi to the hospital yourself? I'll deal with the glass door first, wait for me to come back and I'll reimburse you," she said, wanting to push him away, her head only thinking of chasing after Lin Juan. Looking at her, Lin Juan couldn't believe it. "What are you saying? I'm already injured, but you're telling me to go to the hospital alone, and you're telling me to deal with the reimbursement? Who are you trying to find so desperately to go find right now? Is finding that person more important than taking me to the hospital? Scarlett Hawthorne was still searching in the crowd, replying without thinking. I saw Hao Ming, I want to find him to ask him something. Just as the words finished, Lin Juan trembled with anger. So in your heart, Hao Ming is more important than me? You just go find him, don't worry about my wound, just let it bleed. I don't feel any pain because my heart hurts even more. Releasing Scarlett Hawthorne's hand, the tears fell even more. Scarlett Hawthorne suddenly woke up, looking towards Lin Juan, seeing his face was full of tears, filled with regret. I'm sorry, I was just flustered just now. In my heart, of course you're the most important. I'll take you to the hospital right now. Lin Juan lowered his head, not saying anything, only continuing to shed tears. Scarlett Hawthorne compensated the money for the glass door, hailed a car and took Lin Juan to the hospital herself. On the way she kept calling me but no one answered. Lin Juan tilted his head, seeing Scarlett Hawthorne constantly calling Hao Ming, and ground his teeth with anger. It's Hao Ming again. What kind of hypnotic drug has Hao Ming given Scarlett Hawthorne? Why is Scarlett Hawthorne suddenly caring about him so much? In the hotel room, the phone on the table constantly rang but no one answered. At a critical moment, Leah released me, panting, and said, "Wait a bit. I'll go get a condom." I said, "No need. You can't get pregnant." Leah paused. Can't get pregnant? At this time the phone was still constantly ringing but still no one answered. It wasn't until early morning that Leah fell asleep. When she woke up, it was already afternoon. Leah was no longer in the hotel. On the headboard was a set of new clothes. I tried them on, they fit very well. Even the underwear inside fit very well. How did Leah know my measurements? Did she measure them while I was sleeping? Thinking of that scene, I couldn't help but blush. After putting on the clothes, I picked up the phone, seeing hundreds of missed calls, all from Scarlett Hawthorne. She had also sent many WeChat messages asking me where I had gone. Leah had also sent a WeChat message saying that she had something to do and had to leave first, telling me to text her when I woke up. I didn't reply to Leah, only tidying up my things and leaving the hotel, returning to where I had been staying before. Opening the door of the room, seeing Scarlett Hawthorne sitting coldly on the sofa, I thought to myself, this atmosphere is wanting to eat someone alive, is it? Scarlett Hawthorne jumped up, angrily walking towards me, asking, "Where did you go last night? Why didn't you answer my calls? Did you go fooling around with strange women?" She didn't deny it. "Last night I saw you eating grilled meat with a strange woman. You even fed her a bite." I said calmly, "You must have seen wrong." Scarlett Hawthorne paused. Could it be that she had really seen wrong? Last night, she had only seen someone who looked like Hao Ming. The anger in her heart calming down a bit. I continued to explain seriously. "Last night we ate hot pot, not grilled meat. That hot pot restaurant was pretty good. You can bring Lin Juan to try it." Scarlett Hawthorne's expression immediately changed. "So, last night you really went fooling around with strange women?" I said unhappily. "Don't say it like that. She's not a strange woman. She's a woman with broad shoulders, a slim waist, long legs, and she's very beautiful." Scarlett Hawthorne's face turned pale with anger. "You abandoned me, your wife, to go find strange women, and you're still arguing? Do you know how to write the word shame?" I frowned. "What are you getting crazy about again? Didn't you tell me to go find women myself? After I found one, you're asking me about taking care of her? You forget quickly, don't you? And do you have the right to criticize me? Before I went to find other women, you and Lin Juan had already been shameless for several years. You don't know shame, and you're being unreasonable? You're the one who's wild." Scarlett Hawthorne's face turned from green to red. "I was just joking. Who allowed you to really go find women? You have to cut ties with her immediately, and you're not allowed to see her again." From that day on, Hao Ming no longer lingered around her. Before, he would prepare her clothes every morning, prepare breakfast, bring lunch to the company, and cook dinner, waiting for her to come home. He would also make stomach-nourishing tea, and give it to Song Yaoji for Song Yaoji to give her to drink every day. But now he completely didn't care about her anymore. Scarlett Hawthorne intentionally pretended that everything was still normal, even without his care, but in reality life had become a mess. The work couldn't be swallowed, her stomach was vaguely painful every day, and sometimes she even wore socks that didn't belong to the same pair. It was clear that when Hao Ming lingered around her, she thought he didn't affect her life, only causing her to feel disgusted. But after he let go, not caring, her life had become chaotic. Although there was an assistant taking over those things, it was still inferior to Hao Ming by a level. 5-star hotel chefs couldn't cook dishes that suited her taste, but Hao Ming could. The clothes she wore every day, without him ironing and meticulously caring for them, weren't as comfortable as before. The stomach-nourishing tea that helped her calm down wasn't there anymore. And her mood was always on the verge of rage. Over the past 3 years, Hao Ming had seeped into her life. At this moment, I interrupted Scarlett Hawthorne's train of thought. If I break up with her, how can we have a child? Aren't you worried about Grandpa anymore? Scarlett Hawthorne pursed her lips tightly, frowning. With a furrowed brow, she spoke as if sacrificing something great. I can have a child for you. The sound of shattering glass rang out from behind. Turning around, I saw Kirk standing at the door, his face pale. He couldn't believe it, looking at Scarlett with tears streaming down his face. You actually want to have a child with him? You promised me you wouldn't touch him, but now you want to have a child with him? How can you face me? How can you face our vows? You said your stomach wasn't feeling well, and you wanted to drink stomach-soothing tea. I called my friends back home to help me find a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, asked for a prescription, and then scoured every corner of this foreign land to find a Chinese herbal medicine shop to get the ingredients for you. I drove for over 5 hours just to get enough medicine to make the tea and bring it to you, but how have you treated me? While I was busy for you, you wanted to have a child with another man. Scarlett, are you worthy of me? Scarlett's face was filled with panic. She immediately pushed me away, hurrying towards Kirk. Kirk, listen to my explanation. It's not what you think. Kirk cried and ran away. Kirk, listen to my explanation. Scarlett hurriedly chased after him, quickly catching up to Kirk and hugging him from behind. Kirk, don't be impulsive. Listen to my explanation. It's not what you think. Kirk cried, unable to form words. I heard with my own ears that you wanted to have a child with him, so how can it be fake? You've broken our promise. I don't need you anymore. Let me go, let me leave. Scarlett held him tightly. I won't let you go. You're my future husband. I'll never let you leave me. Kirk asked painfully. Then why do you want to have a child with Hao Ming? Have you fallen for him already? No, no way, I can absolutely not fall for him. Scarlett answered without hesitation. I'm having a child because it's Grandpa's wish. Grandpa's health is getting worse and worse. He wants to see me and Hao Ming have a child before he passes away. Kirk choked up and said, But I don't want him to touch you. If he touches you, you won't be just mine anymore. I don't want to share you with him. Scarlett explained. He won't touch me. I'm only telling him to go do it, that's all. Finally, Kirk calmed down, looking at her with teary eyes. Scarlett seriously promised. Of course. Kirk smiled through his tears, nestling his face into her chest. I love you. Next time you make an important decision, remember to tell me first, otherwise I'll start thinking wildly. To comfort Kirk, Scarlett decided to take Kirk to an auction that night, viewing it as making up for her actions. She also specifically brought him along to make up for the fact that she had taken away his attention the other day when buying clothes. She wanted to help him regain face. At the auction, Kirk held Scarlett's hand and sweetly walked in, leaving me to follow behind like a servant. After exhibiting some ordinary antiques, finally, an emerald bracelet was brought up. Scarlett started bidding. She glanced at Kirk, saying, This bracelet suits you very well. Let me bid for it and give it to you, okay? Kirk said worriedly. It's too expensive, the starting price is already $5 million. I don't want you to waste money. Scarlett asked, Do you like it? Kirk hesitated. I like it, but it's too expensive. Scarlett said firmly. As long as you like it, no matter how much it costs, it's worth it. Although Kirk acted like he didn't want her to waste money, his heart was extremely happy. From his past experience, he didn't dare to advise Scarlett not to bid, afraid that she would actually listen. This bracelet didn't have many bidders. In the end, Scarlett successfully bid for it at $20 million. It wasn't until she successfully bid for it that Kirk finally let out a sigh, glancing at me, who was next to him, intentionally saying, My love, do you want to bid for anything for Hao Ming? After all, he's here with us. If he doesn't bring anything back, it'll be too bad. Scarlett huffed coldly. No need to care about him. The things here are all expensive. He's not worthy. Kirk laughed provocatively, looking at me. I didn't pay attention to him, focusing on the pink diamond necklace on the stage. After the auctioneer finished introducing it, they quickly started the bidding. Everyone present wanted to bid for this necklace because it was rumored to bring good luck. The price quickly climbed to $100 million. During the bidding process, Scarlett had to stop. She didn't have control of the company and her finances were limited, unable to withstand this expenditure. Kirk looked disappointed. He really wanted to get the necklace. If he got this necklace, it would definitely make him famous, making everyone envious. Unfortunately, Scarlett controlled Zenith Group, not having the freedom to spend money as she pleased. Before long, the necklace rose to $500 million. The top billionaire increased it to $600 million in one go, causing the entire hall to fall silent for a moment. At this moment, in the VIP room on the second floor, a bodyguard raised a sign, bidding $700 million. Only then did everyone notice that there was someone on the second floor. Looking up at the second floor, they could only see a bodyguard standing on the railing, vaguely seeing a woman sitting leisurely inside. To this, the top billionaire continued to bid $750 million. The person upstairs followed closely, $800 million. Seeing the top billionaire bid $900 million, the person upstairs was still firm, increasing the price with each bid decisively and without hesitation. The top billionaire recognized that the person upstairs had the financial resources, boldness, and determination to have it. Moreover, being treated by the auction house like that in Russia meant their identity was prominent. The top billionaire guessed the other party's background. Although he was the top billionaire, he didn't dare to easily offend that family. In the end, the necklace successfully fell into the hands of the mysterious person upstairs. After it ended, Kirk came in front of me showing off, "Beautiful, isn't it? This limited edition luxury car costs $20 million, which is $5 million more than the $15 million you won the other day. I've never driven such an expensive car in my life, right? But don't worry, for the rest of your life, don't even dream of driving such an expensive car. After you and Scarlett divorce, you won't even have the money to buy a $10,000 car." Finishing speaking, Kirk felt delighted. I listlessly raised my eyebrows, replying perfunctorily, "You're great. You finished showing off, move aside quickly. Don't stop me from eating and drinking." Kirk huffed coldly. "On the surface, you're pretending not to care, but in reality, you're jealous to the point of going crazy, right?" At this time, a group of people walked into the banquet hall in an orderly fashion. An envoy, hugging a box, had an extraordinary temperament. As soon as this group of people appeared, everyone's eyes were immediately drawn to them. They walked straight to me and Kirk. The person hugging the box said in fluent English, "Handsome sir, my young miss sent me to give you a gift. She said that beautiful things should be given to beautiful people to show their value." Just as the words finished, the box was opened. Inside, it was clearly the pink diamond necklace, valued at $900 million, that had just been auctioned off. Looking at it from a close distance, the necklace sparkled under the lights, indescribably beautiful. It seemed like one could even feel a mysterious and subtle energy. Kirk covered his mouth with excitement, his hands still slightly trembling, his voice filled with undisguised joy. Is it for me? Help me thank your young miss." He hurriedly reached out, intending to take the necklace, but suddenly Leverett moved the box away. Kirk's hand stiffened in midair, the smile on his face immediately freezing. "What's your meaning? Wasn't it supposed to be given to me? Why not give it to me? Are you planning to take it for yourself?" Leverett glanced at him coldly, saying, "It's not for you, it's for this elegant gentleman." "You are not elegant at all, please don't misunderstand." Kirk blushed with embarrassment, trembling with anger. This person was definitely intentionally humiliating him. Just now he intentionally flaunted, waiting for him to think the gift was for him, then telling him he misunderstood. This contrast was truly blatant humiliation. But, looking at the group of people behind the other party, Kirk didn't dare to do anything. Even if he was furious, he didn't dare to be rashly angry, only able to resentfully glare at me. I was also a bit dazed, pointing at myself. "Given to me?" Leverett respectfully replied. "Yes, please accept my young miss's kindness." I asked, "Who is your young miss? Why would she give me such an expensive gift?" Leverett smiled. "My young miss doesn't want to reveal her identity. You don't need to know who she is, just accept this gift." The young miss said, Just now she was on the phone negotiating work. Initially, the other party didn't agree to her conditions, but after seeing you, the other party immediately changed their tone, agreeing to her request. The young miss believes that it's the luck you brought, so she especially gave you a gift to thank you. After hearing it, I felt it was truly absurd. This reason was too childish. Leverett showed a troubled expression, earnestly saying, "Please, you must accept this gift." The young miss instructed that if it can't be given, she'll kill me. Please save my life. I reluctantly felt forced. Not accepting meant not saving his life. Just as I was hesitating, Kirk had quietly led Scarlett Hawthorne over, trying to use her status to handle the situation. Scarlett Hawthorne said in a deep voice, "He's my husband, he shouldn't accept expensive gifts from your young miss. Please take the gift back, just say I'm thanking her on his behalf. If possible, give me her contact information, I'll thank her directly for my husband another time." Kirk immediately stood beside Scarlett Hawthorne, echoing, "That's right, he's already married. How can he casually accept gifts from other women? Being married means upholding the husband's way. Don't be a flirt outside." Leverett laughed coldly. "So in China, a married man can't even decide whether to accept a gift? May I ask, is this marriage or slave trading?" Scarlett Hawthorne and Kirk's faces immediately turned pale. Leverett looked around, noticing that Kirk and Scarlett Hawthorne were holding hands, raising an eyebrow and smiling. This virtuous gentleman who has a wife can't accept gifts from other women, but this lady with low morals seems to be able to, right in front of her husband, happily chatting with other men, bringing your family members to appear in front of the official spouse. Is this allowed? After hearing it, Scarlett Hawthorne's face was even more ugly. She angrily pulled her hand away from Kirk's hand. Kirk stood beside each other awkwardly, not knowing where to put his hands. Leverett turned to look at me, his tone gentle. "Handsome sir, now do you want to accept this gift?" Scarlett hurriedly threatened in Chinese. "Hao Ming, you're not allowed to accept it. If you want a gift, I can buy it for you." I wasn't planning on accepting such a valuable thing in the first place, because there could be a trap hidden behind it. However, being constantly suppressed by Scarlett, especially by the sentence, "I can buy it for you," made me a bit angry and embarrassed. I suddenly raised my head, gave a meaningful smile, saying, "Help me thank your young miss." Finishing speaking, I reached out and took the necklace. Leverett looked relieved. "Thank you, sir. Your generosity has truly saved my life. Thank you for being willing to accept my young miss's gift. She will definitely be very happy." Leverett led his people away. The scene was still quiet, everyone finding it hard to believe. Looking at me, how extravagant was that mysterious young miss? A piece of jewelry worth 90 billion, she just gave it away as a gift. Even the world's billionaires weren't that generous. After a while, the scene became lively again, but the content of everyone's discussion became guessing who that mysterious young miss was and what her relationship with me was. No one believed that someone would give such an expensive gift to a man they only met once. Perhaps they had some kind of relationship. Some big shot took a photo and posted it on Weibo, quickly spreading this story back to the country. After the party, everyone left the hall together. When I was about to get into Scarlett Hawthorne's car, Kirk pressed the car's lock button. He said aggrievedly to Scarlett Hawthorne, "Wife, Hao Ming made me lose so much face, I don't want to see him right now, don't let him ride with us." Scarlett Hawthorne nodded coldly, saying to me, "Go home yourself. Take the opportunity to reflect on your behavior in the past 2 days." Finishing speaking, she started the car's engine. I silently twitched my mouth, feeling that the people who needed to reflect were the ones in the car. Right at this moment, a Maybach stopped in front of me. The car window lowered, Leah looking at me languidly. "Abandoned by your wife again?" Seeing me silent, she chuckled. "Get in the car, I'll keep you company." I was a bit surprised that Leah was here, and even driving such an expensive car. I didn't think much and got into the car. Leah smiled at me, the car suddenly accelerating. I couldn't help but tightly hug her arm. Leah asked calmly, "What's wrong?" The driver replied, "There's a car following us, it seems to be those 2 friends from the auction just now. They started following after we left the auction hall. At first I thought they were going the same way, but just now they deliberately hit our car, so I sped up to avoid them." Leah said, "Leave them behind." After Scarlett Hawthorne left me behind, she intentionally slowed down, monitoring my movements through the rearview mirror. As long as I chased after her and acted spoiled, she would stop the car and let me get in. However, she didn't wait for me to come to her, but saw a luxury car stop in front of me, and I got into that car. Her first thought was that I had found another woman outside, the woman who had given me the jewelry. No matter who it was, she couldn't endure it anymore, and she chased after them, trying to block that luxury car and pull me back. However, that luxury car kept circling on the road, running faster and faster. She also sped up to chase after them, closely following, almost causing accidents. Beside her, Kirk was scared to the point of turning pale. "Don't drive so fast, I'm scared." But Scarlett Hawthorne still didn't budge. Her eyes only focused on looking ahead, until there was a loud bang, the car crashing hard into a car running in the opposite direction. Because the speed was too fast, the collision was very violent. Although Scarlett Hawthorne avoided it in time, the two people weren't injured, but Kirk was completely frightened. "What exactly do you want to do? To chase after Hao Ming? Do you not need your life anymore? What if Hao Ming is with another woman? Don't you not like him? Let him go with whoever he wants. Why do you care about him so much? Could it be that you've fallen for him already?" Scarlett Hawthorne immediately denied it. "I can't fall for him, I don't have any feelings for him." Kirk smiled sadly. "You can deceive others, but don't deceive yourself anymore. Hasn't he noticed? These past few days you care about Hao Ming even more than you care about me. When he doesn't come to the store, you're restless, waiting for him all night. Seeing him with other women, you lose control of your emotions, not caring about me anymore. And yet you say you don't care? Then what is caring? Since you care about him so much, then I'll withdraw. Tomorrow, I'll return to the country. You just enjoy your own world with him." Finishing speaking, Kirk got out of the car and walked back the way he came. After hearing Kirk's words, Scarlett Hawthorne was shocked. It was then that she realized that since I no longer surrounded her, she had been actively paying attention to my every move, ignoring Kirk's feelings. Kirk was her benefactor, the person she wanted to be with for the rest of her life. The person she should care about should be him. She blamed me for intentionally using rapid success yields no success with her, causing her to lose reason. She wouldn't fall for it anymore. On the other hand, Leah and I arrived at a mountain peak. Leah lay in my arms, panting, resting for a long time before finally calming down a bit. After I helped her fix her clothes, Leah laughed. "I heard the meteor shower is good here. This is a very good viewing location, let's go up and see." "Okay." I looked up at the sky. The stars in the sky were much brighter than in the city. Taking a deep breath, I said, "This place is so beautiful. Even if there isn't a meteor shower, just watching the night scene like this is worth it." Leah smiled, taking my hand and walking to the mountain peak. After walking for a while, I suddenly thought of a question. "Did you go to the auction to find me on purpose? How did you know I came there?" Before she could answer, I thought of another question, asking in surprise, "That diamond necklace, don't tell me you gave it to me?" Leah gave a knowing smile, asking back, "Why would you think I gave it to you?" I was silent for a few seconds, laughing at my own guess. I'm stupid. How would a prostitute get so much money to buy something so expensive? Even if you could buy it, you wouldn't give it to me. You follow me to earn money, how could it be the other way around, giving me money? $100 billion, even if you tried your best, you couldn't earn that much. Moreover, your skills are still bad. Leah's mouth twitched. My skills are bad? I insisted. Really very bad. I can only give you 5 points, can't give you any more. Seeing her give a hollow laugh, I continued to ask her. You still haven't answered me, how did you know I came to the auction? Don't tell me you were following me. Leah said in a deep voice. Can't I just be passing by? Hearing that, I was confused, but I didn't think too much. Not long after, we reached the mountain peak, discovering there was a glass room. Inside, there was a comfortable bed, almost no different from the bed at the shop, and there was also a table with a cake on it. The scene was warm and beautiful. I looked towards Leah in surprise. Did you prepare this specifically? Leah smiled. The glass room was already there. The other things I asked people to prepare. Do you like it? Looking into her smiling eyes, I suddenly felt my face turn a bit hot. My throat also a bit choked up. It's very beautiful, I really like it. But, how did you know tomorrow is my birthday? I remember not telling you. Leah said, you told me. I asked in doubt. When? Why don't I remember? Leah's eyes flashed. The first night we met. You were drunk all night, constantly talking nonsense. During that time you talked about your birthday, perhaps you've forgotten. I completely didn't remember, suddenly nodding. Is that so? I really don't remember anymore. Leah smiled, pinching my cheek, incidentally wiping away my tears. Why are you crying again? So touched. Initially, I didn't want her to see me crying, so I intentionally turned my face to one side, not expecting to still be discovered by her. I had never been treated so sincerely by anyone. Even if she did it because of her profession, not from her heart, I was still very touched. So I secretly decided that when the transaction ended, I would give her an extra sum of money. Leah seriously said, "As long as you like it, everything I do is worth it." She looked at her watch, pulling me to the table. It's already past 12 o'clock. After lighting the candles, she urged me to make a wish. I closed my eyes, sincerely making a wish in my heart. Before, I didn't believe in these things, but after the incident with my mother's family, I started to believe in feng shui, hoping that one day when I woke up, the debts would be paid off, my brother would be released from prison, my grandfather would return to health, and the whole family would be safe. At this moment, Leah's voice of singing "Happy Birthday" rang in my ear. During her singing, I finished my wish. When I opened my eyes, Leah smiled gently at me. "Happy birthday." I smiled back. "Thank you, I'm very happy." Just then Leah put a necklace on me. "This is a birthday gift for you. Although it's not as expensive as the one at the auction, this was designed by me personally. I hope you won't refuse." I reached out, stroking the necklace. On it was engraved the letters L and H, the initials of Leah's name and mine. After that, Leah took out another necklace saying, "I also prepared one for myself. Help me put it on, okay?" I lowered my head, looking at the necklace in her hand. On it, there was a ring, clearly a pair with the ring on my necklace. My throat was a bit dry, knowing that our current relationship shouldn't be like this. This action had crossed the line of a normal transaction. Emotions were easily out of control. But in the end, I still helped her put it on. Leah happily held my hand, cutting the cake with me. I ate a piece of cake, looking at the rest, pushing it straight to Leah. "I can't eat anymore, you eat the rest." A meaningful smile bloomed on Leah's mouth. "It's okay for me to eat it, but you have to cooperate with me." I immediately agreed without thinking. "Okay, want me to feed it to you? Don't let me just feed it to you." I was just about to take a fork when Leah pressed me to the ground. It was at this moment that I realized that although she was a girl, she had such great strength. "What are you doing?" Leah didn't answer, but I quickly knew it. Leah was truly an excellent student, her skills improving rapidly. I slightly regretted saying that sentence. About 3 hours later, there was a meteor shower. I took a blanket, wrapping the two of us, sitting on the long chair outside. I let her sit in my lap. Leah said, "The meteor shower is here, make a wish." I seriously made a wish for a while. Leah chuckled, asking, "What did you wish for?" I shook my head, not telling her. I explained that if all the wishes were spoken, they wouldn't come true. Leah coaxed, tell me," and tickled me. Unable to bear it, I said, "All right, I hope the debts of my grandfather's family can be paid off soon." Leah seriously said, "Your wish will come true." I smiled without saying anything. I knew this was a wish that was almost impossible to fulfill. It was a huge amount of money that even the richest billionaires in the world would have to worry about. Although I received that necklace worth 10 billion tonight, converting it into cash was just a drop in the bucket. The meteor shower lasted for half an hour, then ended. I carried Leah back to the glass house, continuing to research how to write the word Khan. Early the next morning, when going down the mountain, Leah's legs had gone soft. It was still me carrying her down the mountain. After getting into the car, she lay in my arms, feeling feverish along the way. On the way back to the shop, just as I opened the car door, I ran into Scarlett Hawthorne and Kirk walking out of the shop.